for our final topic of the day. Cliff Kingsbury ruffled some feathers this week by complaining about his appearance in Madden 20 and saying he looks like a character from The Walking Dead. Well, the video game designers took notice to the Ryan Gosling lookalikes complaint and responded on Twitter by saying they're adding 10% more Gosling. Lucky us. Shannon, do you like the response from Madden?
I do, but I still think it's utterly ridiculous that that's something that Cliff Kingsbury, who's a head coach, there's only 32 of these guys in all the world, is concerned about this. And maybe the Gosling that they added, the 10%, as in Gosling the duck. That's what I'm thinking they added, not the Ryan Gosling, the superstar actor. Skip, this is ridiculous, and I'm just waiting on you to co-sign and back him up, because that seems to be what you do, because he coaches Kyler Murray.
He coached Johnny Manziel.
Oh, yeah.
He coached my homeboy. I don't know. He's coached a bunch of really good quarterbacks.
Whatever.
He has a real cool factor, and he's sure getting a lot more attention than any other first-year head coach, right? Because this was a great response. I loved what EA responded because it's funny.
I did too.
And the truth is, it kind of put him a little bit back in his place. It's like, we'll take that, 10% more Gosling. He does have a lot of Ryan Gosling in him. He is a good-looking guy. I do like his new methods. I don't know if they'll work as far as contributing to wins or losses, but I do like it. He's giving his kids cell phone breaks, and this is a new way. He's revolutionizing how young coaches can coach in this league. So I appreciate that. I'm just not sure that it's going to translate into attracting free agents there to win football games.
But Skip, why does a head coach care about his appearance in a Madden game, in a video game? Not whether or not the plays. You're not worried about the plays you're calling. You're worried about your appearance in a video game?
Oh, boy.
It's a new day.
That is what the world has come to. That is it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Colin tells you why the Cowboys locker room, well, they might be turning on Zeke. The herd starts right now.
He's still beating a guy like Keith Thurman in his last fight. He's special. There's no dispute. Go down one of the all-time greats. Floyd is special, what he's accomplished.
Sure.
But I said at that time, when they were talking about in 2010 or whatever it was, that Floyd would have beat him then. And people said, what? Because Manny was walking through everybody. I said, because Floyd's bigger, faster, stronger. And that's a trifecta in boxing. That's all you have to be at that time. But Manny was walking through everybody. Now, when it happened, when it did happen, when it was a couple years ago, it was long past overdue. You know, when they talk about let things marinate, it was overcooked. It was long past. You know, the meal wasn't tasteful anymore. So I did. You know, when it happened, okay, it was a snooze fest. We saw it. God bless them. They got paid. Okay. They're talking about it again. Why? Why? It ain't gonna be no different. They're older. And, you know, Manny had a bad shoulder. Okay, got it. It ain't going to be any different. It's going to be the same and worse because they're older now. So, I mean, I don't want to see it. I want to walk across the street to see it.
Do you want to take this, Mr. Sharp, or you want me to jump on this?
I'll let you go ahead.
Thank you.
Can I say one thing, Shannon? When I hear Shannon, when you're always talking to Shannon, you go, I'm saying, Shannon, why don't you, like, go roll over the table at him?
He's waiting.
You know, I was going to do a lot of to a lot of things you just said about Manny Pacquiao. I will be the first to admit this has become personal for me. I'm with you. It should have happened 15 years ago in their primes. By the way, I dispute that Floyd was stronger than Manny when in their primes, because Manny got real strong and there were some accusations thrown around, but whatever, he got strong. He was a knockout artist.
Right.
And he could defend, not to Floyd's level, but he was a pretty good defensive fighter.
Absolutely.
Okay. So they did finally meet, 2015, May the 2nd. I was there. I was fired up for it because I thought Manny could get him. Little did I know that 3 weeks earlier, Manny had torn his rotator cuff sparring.
Right.
Freddie Roach has talked about it again and again, and they go to fight night in Las Vegas, Floyd's town. He runs that town.
That's right.
And they filed the same paperwork that Floyd filed because he needs to get shot up in his hands because they're chronically sore.
Right.
And obviously Manny needed a pain-killing injection in his shoulder to even have to put up a semblance of a fight against Floyd. And Las Vegas, the Nevada Athletic Commission said yes to Floyd and no to Manny's injection. And by round 4, we had Freddie on the show here just the other day. Manny came over to Freddie Roach and said, I can't throw a right anymore after 4 rounds. Okay, now it's a farce. Now it's a one-arm man. And again, I actually thought Manny won the fight just because he was the aggressor all 12 rounds. And you know how Floyd fights. Rat-a-tat-tat, run, 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 rat-a-tat-tat, run, you know, punch and run, little flick and run, flick and run. And after a while, I was always taught in boxing that the aggressor should win the round. And at least Manny kept stalking him, tracking him. But he lost, and everybody said, it's a farce. We want our money back. And so the other night, I was stunned at how Manny looked even better against Keith Thurman than he looked pre-Floyd fight. And again, he's 40 years old, and to your point, I got you. 40 versus 42, who wants to see that except me? I want to see him get some revenge on Floyd because I think he would punish Floyd right now. I think he would hurt Floyd because Manny looked as quick and sharp and as explosive as I saw him even going back pre-Floyd fight. So he's ready. He's primed. He is pumped. And I want to see it again. And I think people would pay to see it again because there's not much else out there of that magnitude.
Well, there's no dispute people would pay to see it. Well, let's go back, 40 and 42. You could do the seniors tour in golf. You can do it in golf, tennis. Nobody wants to see him boxing. I don't want to see it. It's a young man's sport.
Okay, but you did say people will pay for it, so somebody does want to see it, right?
The non-boxing people,
okay.
I mean, the general fan, look, people will buy it. Like, I was at an event. A guy bought it at his house. I wasn't going to pay for it the first time. Guy bought it. I went to the house, watched it. I fell asleep. Literally fell asleep during the show. They had to wake me up. Because, oh, would that happen again? Probably. Would it be a better fight? Because Manny did have the shoulder injury. There's no dispute. But would it be any different? No. Floyd is a defensive guy. Manny's an offensive guy. The styles make fights, as we know. But, you know, you got to be able to get close to the guy. And you got to have 2 guys engaged. So Manny was an aggressor. There's a thing in boxing to talk about how you judge a fight. Aggression, but it's called effective aggression. If I'm coming forward getting smacked around, that's not effective aggression. You got to be able to do something. So Floyd, Manny didn't do anything in that first fight. He was missing room punches. He was way off for whatever reason. And I understand his shoulder. We know that. But I'm just saying, at this point, he looks better. Yeah, he's been fighting. Floyd hasn't. You know, so would they allow it to happen? But Floyd's a gym rat. He's in the gym. He's working with the young fighters. So, you know, he has enough experience under his belt. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen. Personally, I think Floyd likes to set, sprinkle the seed. See if people are going to feed on it. I don't think it's going to happen. Why? He's got a good life. He's going to live in a good life. People are still talking about him. Let him talk about it. I think when he came back against McGregor, we saw a little bit. When you haven't fought, and Shannon, you know better than me, when guys don't play, you come back, your body goes, is a little different. Their timing's off. And even in the McGregor, he fought a guy who was a non-fighter, and eventually caught him, and what he was supposed to do. There was no, McGregor wouldn't beat him this lifetime at our next one, but it took him rounds to get him. I think now he's even off longer, and you fight a guy like Manny, he knows what Manny's about. He knows that Manny's better now. Not a better, he's better than he was in that fight. But again, it's a young man's sport. The fact that we're talking about 2 40-year-olds fighting, what's that say about the sport? What's that say about it? There's not a lot of personalities or superstars coming up.
Ray, I want to thank you for coming on. I just want you to know that I learned about Youngstown, Ohio from watching you fight on CBS in the early 80s with the great commentator Gil Clancy, rest his soul, watching those fights. But as you mentioned, Floyd will be, I think, 42 in February. How much do you think his skills have dissipated? Because he hadn't fought Conor McGregor in it'll be 2 years, August, and he hadn't had a meaningful boxing match since Berto in 2015. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, we're talking hypothetically, if they were to fight, how much has Floyd's skills dissipated?
Well, he's going to dissipate quite a bit. We saw what it was in the McGregor fight, and it's not going to get better. You're going to get worse. And Manny's been fighting. Manny's never taken off an extended period of time. He's been fighting. Fighters fight. Writers write. That's what people don't understand. Fighters have to fight. So, and Floyd saw how good he looked against Thurman. Though Floyd's probably saying, that's not me. I'm a different type of fighter.
Remember, Floyd went to the fight.
But, like I said, Shannon, I think Floyd puts it out there. Like I said, he likes to sprinkle the seed. He's got enough money. And as if his ego is that big, and we all, you know what ego does. Ego gets you your butt kicked, figuratively and literally, right? So if your ego is that big, you say, well, I think he likes to put out there, let people talk about it. It keeps him relevant for a period of time, but I don't think anybody's going to see. I don't think it's going to.
But Ray,
yes.
But Ray, you do know when you plant seeds, you hope something to grow. You want something to grow. You don't plant seeds like, well, I hope this doesn't bear fruit. I hope this tree, I plant this seed, this tree doesn't grow. He's planting a seed to see, oh, okay, you clamoring for this? I'll give it to you. It's going to cost you $250 million or $300 million, but I'll give it to you.
Well, he's sprinkling the seed because he likes the people to talk. It keeps him out there. It keeps him relevant for a period of time. That's all. For me, that's all I think it is. But I don't. Here's what is this? That drives me nuts when he's doing it to you. I can only imagine.
What is this man's nickname? Money. Right?
Yeah.
Dangle $300 million more, and he's going to risk 50-0, and he's going to wind up 50-1. And I'm going to say what I've been saying. Floyd, I dare you to get your butt kicked by Manny Pacquiao now, because you would. Manny is on a mission to get even with Floyd.
Yeah.
A lot of people want somebody to shut up Money Mayweather, and Manny could do it. And I grant you 40 versus 42, but I'm buying it. I'm watching it. I'll be there at ringside.
Well, then you better invite me, because I ain't buying that. I ain't walking across. I said, not across the street. Shit, I'll be at your joint next to watch it.
We'll make sure that you can watch with one of us. Seriously, Ray, such good stuff.